Maury Subaru is here today with the new 2017 Subaru WRX STI. Now, I have been waiting about a year to get behind the wheel of this new vehicle, and let me tell you about the interior, the exterior, and then provide you with a driving review. So this STI is the Lapis Blue Pearl. Now there are a whole bunch of different color options and different packages you can choose from. This one we have here today is kind of the basic STI, which I even hate to say that, but you're gonna get the 18-inch wheels on these summer Dunlops. If you do plan on running this in the wintertime, I would suggest maybe an all-season or a winter tire. Maybe on a different wheel you could swap in and out easy. This car would be so much fun in the snow. I definitely think snow tires would make it even that much more fun. As well, outside, you're gonna keep that typical STI styling. Now again, not much did change from the 16, but the 15 was the first generation of this new body style, where you got a little bit different wing, a little bit different fascia on the car, and it all together looks pretty mean. Now the car is a ton of fun to drive, so let's talk a little bit about the engine. So now underneath the hood, you have the 2.5 liter horizontally opposed Subaru Boxer engine. Now this one's gonna provide 305 horsepower, and it does have a little bit of turbo lag. I'll show you a little more about that when we're driving later, but I'll tell you what, after spending a little bit of time at a Rally America event this summer, I think I could get used to this motor and a little bit of sliding around, because it is a blast to drive. Now, I thought the clutch was going to be pretty heavy in this car. I was a little worried about that because I've driven a few of the Evos and some of the competition. I guess that would be in the same class as this, whether that's the maybe MR, or if you're looking at the older Lancers, anything that kind of nature. But basically, it's really light. It's really, really easy to drive. And I think you could have so much fun in this car, whether you're just kind of hooning around or just daily driving it. I mean, fuel economy is going to be pretty decent because you're still on a 4-cylinder turbo. But you got to keep your foot out of it because it does get up and move in a hurry, and it's a lot of fun to drive. It sounds really good too. You either love that Boxer engine noise or you don't. And yes, it sounds so good. And of course now I'm almost speeding because it just goes, it gets up and moves. Like I mentioned, you get a little bit of turbo lag, but nothing too crazy. And if you can keep the revs going, you're gonna have fun all day long in this car. Now the seats for 2017, again, you're gonna have the Alcantara with the leather, and they're pretty comfortable. This has the winter package as well, so they are heated, so you get a nice feel in the wintertime, and they're not over bolstered, not uncomfortable. Oh, it corners so well. The chassis, they've spent so much time developing this car and getting it just right. I mean, there's a 6-speed manual. This one has the short throw package as well. So you get the cool shift knob, and it's got a nice feel to it. I mean, you could get through the gears easy enough, take a little getting used to with the short throw for me, but it's fun. It just does exactly what it needs to do. And that is get you places in a hurry. As far as the layout and design in here, I haven't been in one for a few years now, and this is so much better with their Starlink system. I mean, I can go through all the apps I have in here. I can have it tell me what the weather is going to be, what the forecast is looking like in Minneapolis. It's great, really easy to use. And then up here, you've got your boost gauge. You've got a few other things like the clock, outside temperature, average fuel economy, which is not good now from not keeping my foot out of it, but everything else looks pretty good. Standard, this one's gonna have the automatic headlights now, which is new for 2017, which is nice to have if you're just looking at the base model STI. From there, I mean, you always get the question, will it baby? Can I put car seats in the back of my sports car? It's all-wheel drive and it's got room in the back. This is a practical car. I popped the trunk when we threw all the camera gear in there, and I couldn't believe how much room there was. I was thinking, you get the big wing, you're gonna have no room in the trunk, but there's actually quite a bit of space. And then you can knock the seats down so you get the 60-40 split there, so you can haul around a good amount of stuff. I know they don't do the hatchback anymore, which I was a pretty big fan of, but you know, this one's got a pretty good amount of room, so that's great. Steering wheel, you get the nice kind of wide grip to it with the flat bottom now, and it just makes you feel like a rally racing driver. It is so good, it's so comfortable. The seated position is great. Like I mentioned, the short throw is so much fun to drive. I mean, these cars are starting around the $35,000 mark and then kind of up from there depending on what package you're looking at. But the way everything's laid out with all the different settings between sport, all the different differential settings you can change in here, there's so much cool stuff in this car that if you're a decent driver, you can become a really good driver. If you just want something for fun, buzzing back and forth to work, this would do it. This car, I didn't want to like it as much as I did, but it's so much fun. It sounds so mean too when you're on it, and just, it's great. 2017, again, this is the newest one. It does everything you need it to do. It's practical, it will baby, it's got trunk space, it's got a wing and a hood scoop, and it's fun to drive. Go out, drive one, buy one, you will love it if you don't get arrested. On behalf of Maury Subaru, thanks for watching. Now, if you'd like to schedule your test drive in the STI, make sure to call, click, or stop by today. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you buy happy.